Hello class, so this is the start of our midterm discussion. It's bed making, and some of you have already have had this topic before, so just listen up, and if you would like to add up something that you like to share, you're welcome to do it. So okay, so bed making, but before that, let us just have a recap. First, so we all know that the revenue of the hotel is mostly coming from the rooms. Once we have prepared the rooms as fast as we can, it will generate the money. So it is very important to know, as a room attendant, which room are you going to clean first. Okay, the priority in cleaning rooms first is the check-out rooms. These are the rooms that already have an occupancy. So we all know that check-in time in a hotel is what? That's right, 12 o'clock, and the check-out time is what? 2 p.m. So with that time frame, if the guest decides to check out after 3 days at 2 p.m. and that room is already vacant, or that is already ready for the next occupancy, then the room attendant must be able to have it ready before that particular time. Okay, next, the next priority is a room with makeup request. So definitely that is the second thing that you need to clean. The third one is the occupied room without request. So hindi naman sila nagmamadali since they don't have the request. That's the reason why it's the third. And of course, the last one, fourth, is the vacant room. Since there's no guest inside, this is the last priority when it comes to cleaning. It's vacant room that needs a follow-up. So just have to clean it. If in case there's a sudden walk-in guest that will come into the hotel, it will be ready for the occupancy. So element 2.1, clean the main guest room. So once you have successfully entered the room, it is now time to start cleaning the room. Usually, one of the first tasks to make the beds. Okay, beds will need to be stripped in all departing rooms and at nominated intervals for staying guests. Next, bed making tasks give rise to many injuries to staff and some properties used to rooms attendants to service each room. So when it comes to the point na merong mga pagkakataon na may mga double room, and as we all know, hindi lahat ng room attendants or all male. May mga pagkakataon na some of them are female and they're having a difficulty to clean a room. So when it comes to that point, especially for the female, it is very important for you to ask for a help whenever it's necessary. Whenever you're assigned to a deluxe room, whenever you're assigned to a double room, yun na yung malalaking bed that you need a help from your colleagues for you to be able to clean it properly. So walang masama doon, that is accepted as soon as you are going to return the favor in return. Whenever somebody needs the help, then that's a time for you to help as well. Next, when should the bed be stripped? So we all know the house policy will dictate what applies, and there is usually a connection between the service provider and the room rate being charged. So normally, if it's a 5-star hotel, it's a 3-star hotel, 4-star hotel, it depends on the establishment. How often are they going to change the room? But of course, as we all know, for hygienic purposes, it has to be changed every other 2 days. Okay, and of course, sa mga hotels with the 5-star classification, some of them are changing the sheets as often as every day. Okay, it's always the policy of the hotel that needs to be followed. The option includes daily in high price room, prestige establishment, full change. So as what I've said earlier, daily and high-priced rooms, yung mga deluxe room, that has to be changed. Especially the ones who are in Dubai, they're considered, Burj Al Arab is considered as a 7-star hotel. So once you say 7-star hotel, so that is over the standard. So definitely you're going to expect the beds there to be placed as often as every day. Next, every second of the third day full change. Every second or third day. So that is the minimum requirement. You cannot exceed on that. Definitely some of the guests will not be able to have a good smell if they are going to use the sheet for a long time. So second to third day is safe to change. Next, change when the condition of the linen requires it, such as situations where the linen is dirty or damaged. So may mga pagkakataon na the linen are stained because of the kids. So you need to change that right away. And may mga pagkakataon na the linen would be damaged for whatever reason. So don't wait for them to ask you to change it. Kahit na yan ay nagamit pa lang for half day, but once that is accidentally damaged or accidentally stained, you need to replace it or change it right away. Okay, stripping bed. Some properties will replace nothing if the guest is a short stay, may be defined as 3 nights or less. A guest who is known to be checking out after 3 days may not have their bed linen changed, even though standard practice is to change the bed linen every two days. So this is depending on the hotel classification, as what I have said earlier. Okay, and in some cases, may mga pagkakataon na the guest would insist. He or might say, Kez, it's okay, don't change my sheet. I can still use it the following day. That's fine. You can skip cleaning if guest has insisted. But if you have a manager who is very, very particular when it comes to cleaning, then you need to inform them. Inform your supervisor, sir, this guest from 102 would like me to skip cleaning because they told me still clean because they haven't used it for a day. They were outside for a day. So that is accepted. But you need to inform your supervisor. Next, bed stripping step-by-step procedure. So as we go on, I will be mentioning the step-by-step procedure, but you will see it's different from the video that I have showed you, because the video that I have showed you is based on the NC2 of housekeeping, and I have adapted that from the old module of the housekeeping. So this is the revised edition. So some of the steps would not be the same. As we go on as well, you're going to find out that there is a statement here that says there is no correct order when it comes to cleaning, because it depends on the nature of the job. Meaning to say, there's no 1 to 17 procedure, there's no 1 to 19 procedure, depending on your strategy. Once you're ready on the field, kung paano mo mapapadali ang trabaho mo in which you think it's more effective, you are free to do it so. But these guidelines are just information that you can follow, you can adapt, but you can also modify it based on your strategy. So next, the first one, bed stripping step-by-step procedure. The first one is remove the bedspread or duvet, inspect and air or replace as required, as the bed sheet, etc. are washed or dry cleaned periodically. So you need to air or yung pagpagin and make sure you're going to follow the standards in doing it so. Remove the blanket where provided. Inspect and air once again or replace as required. All blankets are washed and dried clean. So naulit lang yon, I think. Okay. Next, number 3, remove the pillow cases. Place into soiled linen bags. Inspect pillow and pillow protectors. What are you going to inspect with the pillows? Tignan mo kung may stain yan. You're gonna have to check on that. And kung may mga pagkakataon na you found out a stain, be able to separate that into a one linen canvas or a plastic. Para nang sa gayon, if that is going to be brought into the laundry department, hindi naman sila magkakaroon ng they're not going to wash it again para mahalo sa ibang mga clean linen. So once again, stained ones and damaged ones need to be separated. Sorry. Number 4, remove sheets. Place into soiled linen bags. So definitely, yung mga madudumi has to go inside the linen bag. Number 5, check the mattress protector. Spot clean as necessary or replace if required due to staining or damage. So once again, whenever there's a visible stain, okay, you must be able to check or replace on that. And once, I think I have forgotten to tell you that the number 1 pest that you need to look for is the bed bugs, or are the bed bugs. The bed bugs are very difficult enemy. Ito ang iniiwasan ng mga room attendants. This is a very critical part na kung saan once it has started accumulating, okay, it will be very difficult and time consuming to cure. So make sure you check on the edges of the mattress. As we go on, if some of you will be signing up for the limited face-to-face, you'll be able to have a clear picture of what I am trying to say. Next, number 6, inspect electric blanket, safety check, and for the signs of staining, replace as a company standards. So, merong mga pagkakataon na merong electric blankets. These electric blankets are normally in the cold countries. In Norway, that's why as we go on, the Norwegian style is using an electric blanket. Electric blanket is plugged, okay, at the outlet, obviously, and needs to be properly maintained kasi that is connected at the bottom part of the sheet. Okay, so merong proper way of putting it on and replacing it whenever you're removing it. So you have to make sure that you are following different standards. So here in the Philippines, obviously we don't have it because it is not necessary to do it so. Okay, where linens should be placed. I think I've showed you in the video that I emphasized it's more hygienic to place it on the table. And sometimes it's okay to place it on the chairs, but I am discouraging you to put it on the chairs kahit na madumi siya, because the chair, or compared to the table, it is more hygienic to put it on the table than to the chair. Kasi in some cases, the chairs, especially the elders, nagkakaroon sila ng mga tiny mess, like a tiny poop on the chairs, and it's, you know what's gonna happen if you're going to place it there. Okay, so items have been stripped from the bed should not be placed on the floor. Obviously, that's a big no-no, not on the floor. Next, check what applies in your establishment, but options include placing them on chairs, like on tables, like what I've said in the video, couches, and in the room. Not only it look bad for the guests to see these items on the floor, if they enter in the room while you are cleaning it, it is also unhygienic. Okay, that's a big no-no to put it on the floor. So damaged or soiled soiled bed items. So when damaged items are found, they must be replaced, with the damaged items either forwarded into the appropriate department for repair or by notifying the appropriate person so that they can pick it up. So whenever you have found a damaged or damaged linen, so normally, like I said earlier, have it put it on a bag, and the respective person is going to bring it over to the tailor room so they can repair it right away. That's the reason why I've told you that the laundry department, tailor are strategically next to each other, so it will be easier to pass on what do they have to fix. If the damage appears intentionally, contact supervisor. So intentional damage. This happens when, like I said earlier, may mga kids, and if the kids write on like the face of Mickey Mouse on the sheet, so definitely you need to inform your supervisor. Inform him that sir, there was an obvious intention stain on the sheet. The boy drew the face of Mickey Mouse. So you, as a room attendant, it is your job to inform the parents of the kid in that particular room and say, Mr. Anderson, this is an intentional stain on the hotel's property. Next time this one happens, you're gonna have to pay for it. But normally it is the job of the supervisor to talk to the guest, kasi may mga pagkakataon na the room attendants are not too confident to explain it. So let your supervisor talk to them about the situation. And like I said, once the damage has occurred, once again, they are going to be charged the next time. Next, there are many approaches taken by different establishments to the removal of stain and guest rooms. Other establishments will ask you to involve the executive housekeeper and obtain their advice about what to do. So, of course, as we all know, the executive housekeeper is the commander-in-chief. So, whatever it is, whatever problem is existing in his department, he needs to know. And if he or she has insisted a particular policy when it comes to dealing the damages, then you'll just have to follow. So once again, that is why it's very important whenever you're dealing with any problem or in any department, not only in housekeeping department, to inform your supervisor so they can deal with it. Types of stains. Last sem, I asked the third-year students to have a research on how are they going to remove these stains. These are the urine and feces, followed by the blood, beverages, shoe polish, food, and some mud and dirt. So these are the stains that are very difficult to remove. That's why we have a all-purpose cleaner that you can use, but sometimes the head of department may require you to do some DIY or do it yourself by the usage of baking soda. They're using that as an alternative. Baking soda plus cold water, vinegar and water, some of which you're gonna have to soak it for a day. Of course, that is not your job, but it is also vital for you to know how to remove tiny stains. Okay. And next we have blood. are we going to remove that? By using alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, soap, and water. Beverages. How about the beverages? So these beverages are kind of easy to remove compared to blood and urine. But however, once the beverages stain on the surface for a long time, that's the time for the stain to stay there for a long time, and that will be difficult to remove. So make sure whenever you discover a stain, you need to bring it over to the laundry department so they can remove the stain right away.